Welcome to Tales and Travel Adventures. Let's visit Italy. Hello, my name is Mary Beth Reidner. I am a retired librarian. In 2008, I developed a program called Tales and Travel. I hope to develop a series of programs adapting Tales and Travel for online use by groups or individuals. There are two ways to use this program. First, you can just listen and follow along as I read the narrative that accompanies each slide. Or you or your partner can turn down the volume and use the controls to pause each screen so that you can read the narrative out loud yourself. You might also want to talk with your partner about what you are seeing or about any memories that come to mind. Our trip to Italy starts in the far northern alpine regions of the country, near Bolzano. The beautiful scenery includes green terraced fields. Can you see the ancient castle on the hilltop? As we head south on the highway, leaving the Alps behind, we come to the city of Verona on the Adige River. This medieval town is best known as the setting for Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet. And here is Juliet's balcony, as legend would have it. Perhaps this young girl is calling, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name, would smell as sweet. Verona is also well known for its first-century Roman arena. Let's stop at this outdoor cafe for a cool drink and to enjoy the view. Or would you prefer gelato? Tonight we have returned to the Verona Arena for a sumptuous production of the opera Rigoletto by Giuseppe Verdi. To get to Venice, we have to drive east towards the Adriatic Sea. Venice is made up of over 100 small islands. There are no roads for cars in Venice. You have to get everywhere, either on foot or in a boat. Here are the opening lines of a poem about Venice written by Samuel Rogers in 1823. There is a glorious city in the sea. The sea is in the broad, the narrow streets, ebbing and flowing, and the salt seaweed clings to the marble of her palaces. No track of men, no footsteps to and fro, lead to her gates. The path lies o'er the sea, invisible, and from the land we went, as to a floating city, steering in and gliding up her streets as in a dream, so smoothly, silently, by many a dome, mosque-like, and many a stately portico, the statues ranged along an azure sky. Not much has changed since that poem was written in 1823. The city is divided by a maze of canals. Some of them are very narrow, like this one. There are over 400 footbridges, so people can cross over the canals. From the famous Rialto Bridge, we get a marvelous view of the Grand Canal. Lined with buildings from the 13th through the 18th centuries, it's the busiest canal in Venice. It's almost 2.5 miles long and 16 feet deep. St. Mark's Basilica on the central public square is tiled with amazing, colorful Byzantine mosaics. Are you ready for a ride in a gondola? Our gondolier looks like he's strong enough to get us to our destination. Do you think he will sing for us? As we head south from Venice to Rome, we are enjoying another beautiful ride through the countryside. Maybe on our next trip, We can stay at one of these enticing villas. Our first stop in Rome is the Colosseum. Completed about 80 AD, it could hold 50,000 to 80,000 spectators. We have special tickets to go inside. The original oval wooden floor disintegrated long ago, but now we can see where the gladiators and wild animals waited to emerge through trap doors for their spectacular fights. Rome was built on 7 hills. From the top of the Capitoline Hill, we can look down into the ruins of the Roman Forum. This is where the Caesars walked, and where the Roman senators made the laws that governed their vast empire. It's a very hot summer's day, but I know my high school Latin teacher would want me to walk among these fabled ruins. I do remember a little Latin. Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered, as written by Julius Caesar. From the Forum, we can also look up to the Palatine Hill, where the emperors lived in their fabulous palaces. Our last stop in Rome will be Vatican City, which is actually an independent city-state. Here is our first glimpse of it after crossing the bridge over the Tiber River. Every square inch of the Vatican Museum is filled with amazing works of art, including this ceiling in the Gallery of Maps. We just went into the Sistine Chapel to see the ceiling that Michelangelo painted, but we weren't allowed to talk or to take any pictures. One of the first things you see as you enter St. Peter's Basilica is the sculpture by Michelangelo known as the Pietà. It shows Mary cradling the body of her son Jesus after he was taken down from the cross. Your eye is then drawn to the altar. The altar is surrounded by Bernini's baldacchino, or canopy. At 94 feet high, it is said to be the largest piece of sculpted bronze in the world. Finally, your eye is lifted up to the dome. Measuring 448 feet from the floor, it is the tallest dome in the world. Many artists and architects contributed to the design of the basilica that was completed in 1590. As we leave St. Peter's Square, we will be saying goodbye to Italy. Or perhaps we should say arrivederci, or until we meet again. Do you remember the song 3 Coins in the Fountain? This song about the Trevi Fountain in Rome comes from the 1954 movie of the same name. It was made popular by Frank Sinatra. I will play the melody on my flute, and you can sing along, using the lyrics on the following 2 screens. You sounded great! If you want to sing the song again, just rewind the recording back a little way. If you are using this program with someone else, the next screen will make some suggestions for starting a conversation about Italy. Here are some suggested topics for conversation. Have you ever visited Italy? Do you have any family or friends from Italy? What do you think of when you think of Italy? Its history? Its beautiful cities and countryside? Its art and architecture? Its music? Its food or drink? Or anything else? I have two more ideas for fun things that you can find by searching the internet for free word search puzzles or searching the internet for free coloring pages. You can see the next two screens for examples. This is a free word search puzzle that you can find online at this link. If you are artistically inclined, you might enjoy finding free coloring pages online. Try doing a Google search with terms such as free coloring pages, Italy. Then copy and paste an image into a word processing document and print it. Here is a link for a picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Thank you for visiting Italy with me. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me at my email address. I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to fill out a brief survey about the value of this program. And finally, this work can be freely used by anyone under the Creative Commons license shown here. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.